Okay, so we're going to look at the CBA 2 review. You have the CBA tomorrow. This might be split up into a couple different videos. I'm going to probably go as fast as possible in doing the best method, the method that I think is best. If you did a different method, that's fine. You should have already solved a couple problems on your own by now. So there's probably going to be a part 2, possibly a part 3, because there are a lot of questions on here. But this covers everything over your CBA. So number 1, what value of x makes this statement true? So here's what we're going to do. Go to your calculator, go to y equals. I think this is the easiest way. In y1, type in the first half. So 1/2 times x plus 3. And then in y2, put in the other half. 2 parentheses x minus 3. Okay, so then you do the second trace, 5. Be sure you see where they intersect. That's important. Okay, we can't see it. So enter. X equals 5, so that will be your answer. If you solve this out longhand, that's great. Okay, you should have gotten the same answer. X equals 5. Okay. All right, now number 2. Steven went to a video game convention where he spent a total of $32. He spent $12 on this ticket and played 16 new video games. If Steven spent the same amount of money at each new video game he played, how much money did he spend at each new video game? So, what we're going to do here is he spent a total of $32. Okay? His admission ticket was $12. Plus, at each table, he went to 16 new video games. He played 16 new video games. So now we solve this. So 32, we need to subtract the 12. You can also do this one in the calculator just like we did the last problem. So 32 minus 12 is 20. Okay? And then we have 16x. The next step will be to divide by 16. X equals, let's see what 20 divided by 16 is. Oh, quit. $1.25. Because this one's talking about money, so we're not going to put it in fraction form. It's $1.25 for each video game. Okay. If you don't want to use the equation to figure this one out, there are other methods you could use to figure this out. Okay, just like common sense. Okay, question number 3. Which inequality describes the solutions to this? So this one you can't just type in your calculator because of that inequality sign. We have to do this longhand. So first, can we distribute? Yes, we can. So negative 5x minus 3 is greater than negative 3x plus 6. Okay? Now, are all the x's on one side? No, so we need to get them that way. I'm going to add the 3x. That cancels out here. So we have 6 left here. Negative 5 plus 3 is 2x minus 3. Okay, now we need to get x by itself. So let's add the 3 first. You add or subtract first. That goes away. We have 2x is greater than 6 plus 3 is 9. Last step, we divide. So that means x is greater than 9 over 2. Remember, with inequalities, if you ever divide by a negative, the sign flips. Don't forget that. If you ever divide by a negative, the sign flips. Okay, number 4. The cost of renting a game at the video store can be described by the function this, where f of x is the total cost and x is the number of days. If Justin has $18 to spend, what is the maximum number of days that he can rent the video game if tax is not considered? Okay, so total cost he has is 18. They want to know how many days can he do for 18. So 18 is the biggest amount, so greater than or equal to 5x plus 4. Okay, can we distribute? No. Are all the x's on one side? Yes. Can we add or subtract? Yes. So we'll subtract the 4. because we're trying to get x by itself, remember? 18 minus 4 is 14. Okay, now we need to divide. So divide by 5. That cancels. We aren't dividing by a negative, so the sign stays the same. Let's see what 14 over 5 is. It's 2.8. So how many total days can he rent it for? Not 3, because he can only do 2.8. So 2. 2 days. Okay. All right, number 5. Okay. For a square whose side length is equal to 2x plus 4, the perimeter can be expressed as 4 times 2x plus 4. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to the perimeter in terms of x? Okay, so the question is actually talking about in terms of x. So, we need p equals 4 times 2x plus 4 in terms of x. Okay, so we're trying to get x by itself. All right. So first, well, let's distribute first. So p equals 8x plus 16. Okay? Now, again, we're trying to get x by itself. So we need to do what first? Subtract the 16. What is p minus 16? It's just that. P minus 16 equals 8x. Now, what's our last step? Divide by 8. We'll divide that whole thing by 8. P minus 16 over 8 equals x. Okay? That's all you're doing there. All right, number 6. Be sure if you're confused by any of these problems that you go back and watch it again. Number 6, the expression of this is equivalent to what? So let's work it out. We've been doing a lot of combining like terms. So negative 18x squared plus 7x minus 14 plus 20x squared, because remember that negative changes all the signs, minus 17x plus 12. Now we just need to combine like terms, okay? If you did that part right, you should be able to get this part right. We have x squared here and an x squared family here. Okay? We have an x family here and an x family here. We have a number family and a number family. Okay. So negative 18 plus 20 is what? Type it in. Negative 18 plus 20. It's 2. X squared. All right, now 7x minus 17x is what? Type it in. 7x minus 17x. You're not typing in the x's. 7 minus 17. It's negative 10x. And lastly, negative 14 plus 12 is what? Negative 14 plus 12. Type it in. Negative 2. Okay, so that would be your answer there. Okay, number 7. Number 7. The perimeter of a rectangle is that. If the width is that, what's the length? Okay, so here's what you're doing here. The perimeter is all 4 sides, right? So the perimeter of the whole thing is 36x plus 24. Okay? It says the width is 12x plus 8. That means on both sides. And you're wanting to know this side and this side. Okay? So, what we'll do is we'll add together 12x plus 8 and 12x plus 8, right? Because those are 2 of the sides. Okay, so that's going to give us 12 plus 12 is 24x. 8 plus 8 is 16. Okay, so that's our first thing. So now what we need to do is subtract from the perimeter. So the total perimeter is 36x plus 24 minus, put it in parentheses, 24x plus 16. Why do we put that in parentheses? Because if we're minusing that whole thing, their signs need to change. So it's 36x plus 24 minus 24x minus 16. Okay? Now we're going to combine like terms. Okay? What's 36 minus 24? It's 12. What's 24 minus 16? Type that in. 24 minus 16. It's 8. So we have plus 8. Now remember, this is both sides. Okay? So in order to only get one side, we have to divide those both by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. So this is the side of the length of one side. Okay? Number 8. The width of the following expression could be simplified to create this. Which of the following? So which of the following can be used to create that? Here's what you're going to do. Solve them all out. 2 times 6x is 12x. 2 times 14 is 28. Did that match? No. Even if you think it does, I want you to solve all of them out. Okay? 2x times 6x is 12x squared. 2x times 12 is 24x. Okay? 6x times 2x is 12x squared. 6x times 10 is 60x. And lastly, 2x times 6x is 12x squared. 2x times 14 is 28x. Which one matches? D does. Okay, I want you to solve them all out to be sure you don't make a minor error, okay? Okay, number 9. Which expression is equivalent to this? Now remember, when you do stuff like this, make sure you write a 1 in front of that y so you're not confused. Now let's go ahead and use the box method for this one that we've been going over. We have negative 8, and inside we have 6 minus 1y, right? So what's negative 8 times 6? Negative 48. Okay? Negative 8 times negative 1 is positive 8y. Okay? So they might write it one or two ways. They may write it negative 48 plus 8y, or they'll write it backwards. 8y minus 48. Okay, be prepared for both. They're the same answer. Okay, let's look at number 10. Okay, number 10. If the square root of 84 is simplified to a square root b such that a and b are integers, what is the value of b? So here's what we got to do. Remember that tree? Take your 84. Can 84 be divided by 2? With what? 42. Can 42 be divided by 2? With what? 21. 21 can't be divided by 2, but it can be divided by 3 with 7. Okay, so we have the square root 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. Then we need to take out our pair. So 2 is now on the outside, and then we have 3 times 7 inside. 3 times 7 is 21. So B here is 21. Now remember, I also showed you how you can do that in your calculator. So calculator, you go to y equals, clear what's in there. Okay, and we need the square root of 84, so you do 84 divided by x squared. Oops, and y equals 84 divided by x squared. Go to your table. Find the set of whole numbers for this down. It's 2 and 21. Okay, so that would be the same answer we got,